Welcome back to Short Thoughts with Mary. Do you ever wonder why we put such pressure on ourselves? I feel like every now and then there are days where I turn and I'm okay. I'll go on little drives and every something like that takes the edge off. And I'll be fine. And then it's like a couple weeks or honestly even a couple days later, something will happen that will make me think, uh-oh, I'm not doing this right, or I'm not in this timeline, or whatever. And it's kind of going back to our podcast before this, the loneliness podcast, where we think we should be in whatever phase of life as everybody else. And I just don't think that's, the case. As I said, I wish it were, personally. Not for everybody, but for myself, I wish I could be in the same phase of life as I think I should. But we put so much pressure on ourselves, and it's not even just work or relationship wise. It's in everything. And maybe there's a reason why, there's OCD and those kinds of diagnosed mental order disorders or whatever you call them anymore. But I don't think it's rare for all of us to think we're not doing something exactly how we should be doing it. And so therefore, we think we're not good enough for whatever task or for whoever that we're friends with or in a relationship with. And I don't know how you would fix that other than going to a therapist. I'm not doing that. Or going and not thinking about it, as easy as it sounds. I think it's one of those things that as people, we have to learn to deal with it as it comes. For myself, being a hairdresser, there's lots of talk. Different times people say that I'm not good enough to do it. I mean, throughout school, that was the case. Sometimes during work, there's the case of different peers and things like that saying that I'm not good enough or it's not my talent. And to be fair, it's not my talent. I grew up a tomboy. But with the outside peer pressure, after hearing all of that, there's internal pressure for myself thinking, well, if I screw this up, then I'm a failure. If I don't do this highlight exactly how it should be in the picture, then I'm a failure. The good thing for me, and I've not screwed anybody up, so get that out of your head. I'm not bad at what I do, and I'm a new stylist. That's the biggest thing. Sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves thinking we should be where somebody who's been doing that thing for 20, 10, 30, 40 years has been doing it versus us who's only been doing it, a couple years. If even moms are really bad about doing this to themselves. They think they're not a good mom because they haven't done A, B, or C for their kid, even though that's their first kid and you're going through it the first time. And really, even my mom, who has multiple kids, every one of us is different. Every one of us has something else that pops up, and she's got to figure it out as she comes. Yes, there's people that can tell you, oh, this is how you should do this, or this is how you should handle this, or this is what you should do if your kid does this. But it's not medicine where you can say, this is what worked, so you should do this, because not every kid reacts the same way. Personally, I'm more even keeled than, let's say, my brother. He's got a mouth on him. I pout. So if she were to punish me, taking away something, I'll sit quietly and be mad and probably won't talk to her, which in her mind probably works out. And then there's my brother who will yell and scream and do all that, or at least used to. Of course, we're older now, so he's not yelling much at all. But there's a lot of pressure with moms, with work, with just everybody. And I am always so curious, is it because of the outside or is it more because of ourselves? We compare too much, we're in our heads too much, and we're watching too many things that make us think we're not doing something right. I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out one day. Maybe, towards the end of life when we're all about to die. But truly, when we get older and wiser, maybe you'll just accept where you're at and go on about your day. But I honestly don't think that's the case. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the case. My parents who are older, they complain about certain things. My dad less so, but he's a quiet guy. But they complain about certain things that they feel like they're not up to par or they don't do very well. And then, of course, there's some people that just willingly accept the way life is. Maybe they don't internally, but at least outwardly, they seem to fairly easily take it in and go on about their day. I don't know if that's a learned behavior or if it's something you have to train your body to do. Or sometimes it's just medication. Some people just get medicated for anxiety and OCD, and that's what helps with it. But at the same time, not that there's anything wrong with SSRIs, taking them. I think it comes to a point, though, where we have to adjust ourselves, and sometimes the medicine doesn't always work or isn't the best thing, just because that's the way we were formed. God made us this way for a reason. If we were perfect, we'd be in heaven. One day we'll all figure it out. One day we'll all get older and wiser and maybe heal up. But in the time being, don't be too hard on yourself. You're doing fine. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you're okay. You're good. You'll learn your mistakes and you'll go on and do even better than you did before. Moms out there, as long as your kid's alive and as long as they're happy and you're happy, you're fine. You're doing okay. Take advice when you need it, but don't fret about the little things that are happening. Don't put too much pressure on yourselves, no matter your mom, working, friends, relationship. We'll be okay. We'll get through it all together. We're taking it one day at a time. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will catch you next time when my ADD acts up on Short Thoughts with Mary.